If we take this at face value, the ending suggests that the Remember we see is simply a digital copy of a human being with self-awareness, and I hope this is not the case. Let's assume that the headset that Remember talks about scans your brain or something like that and creates a self-aware AI version, as well as all your memories up to the point of scanning. Now suppose after this you take off the headset and leave, even die. But the computer is still running, along with the simulation, which at some point decides to put your scanned mind into it. So, Remember appears with all her memories up to the scanning and finds herself somewhere else, despite the fact that I was sitting in the chair, seemingly just a minute ago. Why I think all this might be the case is the last moment of the pilot episode when we are shown that the simulation is running inside a computer, and no one is sitting next to it. For me, it's clear why Remember can't take off the headset, because she literally has no body. She is 100% digital. Also, the reason why I would like this not to be the case is that this plot has already been done somewhere else, and also absolutely brilliantly. If the dinner scene at the end of Taj is actually a reference to the painting The Last Supper, and Remember is compared to Christ, then I think she may eventually become the savior for the other characters, freeing them from the digital circus. Except that Christ was a savior, voluntarily sacrificing his life. If Remember voluntarily sacrificed herself to save the other characters, it would be a huge step forward compared to when she ran away from the abstract Kaufmo and left Regatta to die. EDK. It's possible. Just what I was thinking about. Perhaps the musical theme is something that the characters do on a regular basis, as a way to cope with stress or even as a form of entertainment in their unusual situation. However, it is also possible that Kane introduced this theme on the day of Remember's arrival, as a way to attract her attention, or even as a way to gain control over the situation. Without additional information, it's hard to say for sure. It will be interesting to see how this theme will develop in future episodes. I think the reason why Jax behaves like a troll is that he is coping with being in the circus. Honestly, I didn't like Jax at first until I realized. I believe the reason he behaves like such a jerk is that this is exactly how he copes with his situation. We see that characters cope with sanity in different ways. For example, they joke or push their feelings deep inside. Meanwhile, Ajax's survival mechanism behaves like a jerk, but we also see that he helps others a little. This also leads me to believe that he will learn to cope with the situation without harming others in a future episode. He and Zubul, who is the youngest, may behave coldly for this purpose. It's still too early to give a character analysis, but it's quite possible that he behaves extremely selfishly and rudely because he doesn't want to form tender bonds with his companions, knowing that they can be abstracted at any moment and lose their sense of who they were, which can be emotionally painful, especially with Gangle and Kinger, who seem the most unstable. Another possible reason for his character, if we take seriously the theory that he is a character breaking the fourth wall, is that he may feel that he does not need to empathize with virtual characters. The theory about the characters in Amazing Digital Circus and their possible connection to the story, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, is very insightful. Here are some additional thoughts. Identity preservation. It's possible that the characters in ADC retain some aspects of their identity, such as vocabulary and the ability to project personality, but may lose or suppress other aspects, such as acquired life skills or knowledge. This could be a result of being washed into the digital world, as you suggested. Reality versus illusion. The characters in ADC may not be who they seem to be. As you mentioned, Gangle may not be melancholic, Zubul may not be alienated, Regatta may not be unkind, Jax may not be an antagonist, and Pomni may not be meek. This could be a result of their true characteristics being distorted or hidden in the digital world. Connection to the real world. The characters in ADC may not be able to speak about their circumstances in the real world or any references to pop culture because these memories have been erased or suppressed. This could be a way to protect them from the pain or trauma associated with their real lives. Overall, your theory offers a fascinating new perspective on the characters in Amazing Digital Circus and their possible connections to the story I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. It will be interesting to see how these ideas develop in future episodes. Self-defense. Jax's indifference and lack of empathy may be his way of protecting himself from the pain and fear associated with his situation. He may use these mechanisms to shield himself from his emotions and avoid experiencing trauma. Control over the situation. Jax may be trying to take control of his situation by becoming indifferent and unempathetic. This could be his way of managing his feelings and reactions to what's happening around him. Energy preservation, indifference, and lack of empathy. Maybe Jax's way of conserving his energy for more important things, such as survival. He may use these mechanisms to avoid wasting his energy on emotional responses. Sanity preservation. As you mentioned, Jax may behave this way to keep from going insane. Indifference and lack of empathy may be his way of maintaining his sanity under extreme stress and uncertainty. Overall, your theory offers a unique view of the character Jax and his ways of coping with difficulties in Amazing Digital Circus. It will be interesting to see how these ideas develop in future episodes. Jax, a character from Digital Circus, presents an interesting subject for analysis. Here is one possible theory about his character and behavior. Alienation theory. Jax may be an alienated character who tries to distance himself from his emotions and relationships with other characters. This could be his coping mechanism for traumatic experiences in the digital world. He may use his indifference and lack of empathy as a defense against pain and fear. Control theory. Jax may be striving to control his situation by becoming indifferent and unempathetic. This could be his way of managing his feelings and reactions to what's happening around him. He may use this mechanism to avoid wasting his energy on emotional responses that could be unproductive or even harmful. Survival theory. Jax may behave this way to survive in the digital world. His indifference and lack of empathy could be his way of maintaining his sanity under extreme stress and uncertainty. He may use these mechanisms to preserve his ability to act and make decisions despite the challenges he faces. An intriguing theory about Jax from Amazing Digital Circus could be related to his potential abstraction in the next series. Abstraction theory. Jax might have a unique ability to abstract from his current state. This could be his way of dealing with the stress and uncertainty associated with his situation in the digital world. He might use this mechanism to distance himself from his current problems and focus on more important things, such as survival or finding ways to freedom. In the next series, we might see how Jax uses this ability to cope with new challenges or overcome current obstacles. This could lead to interesting plot twists and give us more understanding of his character and ways of dealing with difficulties. However, this is just a theory, and we have to wait for the next series to find out what will actually happen. It will be interesting to see how this idea will develop in future episodes. Thank you, dear subscribers, for being with us. We appreciate your support and interest. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss our upcoming videos. We promise that there is a lot of interesting content ahead. See you in the next video. See you soon.